There are two different types of game plans for job hunting that you can use. I call them the evolutionary and the revolutionary. But which one do you use? Well, it depends on what you want. You use the evolutionary approach where you're happy with the industry that you're in, you like the role, but you're really looking for a little bit more money or a different group of people to work with. The job hunting game plan here is very straightforward. You use the revolutionary approach where you're looking to change industry and change role, perhaps trying to satisfy another part of your life. The revolutionary approach is what you do when you are making a major career change. There are typically three major reasons why people seek major job changes. 1. They made a bad initial choice with their career. 2. Their current job is asking too much of them. They are stressed in a negative way. Or 3. They want to go into business for themselves. You can consider these options with the career strategy table. A change in occupation, a change of industry, a change of colleagues, a change of environment, a job that better fits your goals and values, a change in salary. Probably the biggest change you can make is to move from your current industry and role to a totally new industry and different role. This is a massive undertaking and probably the most challenging move to make on the career strategy table. Knowing which option to take will require you to do a lot of homework on yourself.
The client, whether it be via email or a call, we would basically make a time to actually go and see the client to get a full description of the job role. Often if we've been out there before, we would just take it over the phone, but I think sometimes it's great to get out there and see the environment again, if anything's changed. We'd take a full brief from the client. From there we would then come back to the office, do a database search, but we would generally actually advertise majority of the roles through the internet. And from there we would obviously receive applications from candidates. We would go through a screening process over the phone, invite them in for an interview if we feel they're suitable, and then we would interview from there and then make a shortlist from the candidates interviewed.
Only 25% of all jobs available are actually advertised.
Only about 25% of all vacancies are advertised, and as a recruiter we don't actually advertise a lot of our vacancies either, probably about 20% of them. We would go to our database as our first preference when we're looking for...
The two main things you should ask yourself when looking for a job are, 1, what do I need to do to get a job? Then 2, what if that doesn't work? Now the second question is far more daunting than the first.
To win any game, you need to know the rules, the playing conditions, your competitors, and then you need a game plan that takes these factors and your ability into account. In the advertised job market, an understanding of the statistics will help you understand the playing conditions and therefore develop your game plan.
Here are a few job hunting statistics to help you understand the online job market.
4% of online job hunters found their jobs on the internet. 6 to 10% of employers found their staff using the internet. 35 to 45% of online job hunters experienced total failure with using the internet. And 70 to 80% of online job hunters experienced at least a bit of failure in applying for a job online. These statistics are more than just numbers. It's important to look at statistics because they will help us overcome the 3 causes of losing in the advertised job market. 1. Internet euphoria. The internet arrived and people thought job hunting would be easier. This is simply not the case. 2. Lack of confidence. Whilst you are job hunting, you are going to hear one word constantly: no. Of course, you'll initially feel the shock of rejection, but you have to stay positive. With every no, you get closer to a yes. 3. Poor strategy. Finally, if you know the statistics on how most jobs are found, then you will have a much better chance of securing one by adopting a strategy to focus on where the jobs are and how the employers go about filling them.
When you're doing an evolutionary job hunt, it's important to understand how employers prefer to fill positions. Here are 6 examples of how they go about it. The first one is that they actually prefer to fill most positions with someone who's already working within their organisation. Now what that means to you is that you should see if you can get a job as a temporary worker or even perhaps as a volunteer. It means you'll be on the inside when they're looking to fill a permanent position. People that are out there looking at getting a job at a big organisation like Shell, how should they go about that?
The same approach almost if you're looking at a small organisation. I think generally you've got to have a clear understanding of what that business is, where your goals assimilate with that organisation, and also just starting to read about what's happening out there, understand where the potentials to network and get talking to people in those organisations exists. So for graduates that would be career fairs, being present, talking, asking. For the more senior people, it's just networking around colleagues and friends. Do you know people that work at those companies that you want to work for? And building a portfolio in a targeted way you want to.